Hello, everybody. This is your host, Justin, and this is Metal on a Budget. Today, you get to see kind of how I solder, things like that. Um, this video is not sponsored. This is all, gear that I paid for myself. And with that being said, enjoy the video. We'll get right into what's going on here and what I'm actually doing. Let's get the tripod set up. Okay. We can kind of see what's going on. I'll adjust it once I start soldering. We're going to talk a second here. Let this heat up a little more. So the input jack was loose, making buzzing noises, all kinds of stuff I didn't like. Try not to burn myself on the solder here. So there's a nut on the inside of this and the outside of this. And you want to make sure both of them are tightened up so that plate is stiff. You see how it ain't moving now. So that cable should be really tight in here when I go to play it. The downfall was I ripped the ground out of the guitar, which is right here. Not the white wire, but the one that's wrapped around it is the ground. So I've already kind of prepped this in advance, kind of cleaned as much as the soldering I could off. Try to get as much soldering as off. They didn't have the wires actually in the hole, so I'm curious to see if that'll help some of the buzzing noises. I'm not sure. I've already marked this for the positive and ground, so we know to take this wire and run it through. And the reason why I like doing the input jacks over anything else is it has holes, so it'll actually hold your wire in place while you're soldering it, which is really nice. So I won't have to clamp it down to a table or something. I can just tie it in there. Let's make sure we got the right hole. Okay. And then we just want to loop this around like so, if I can. Maybe, yeah, that works. That works. Just trying to loop that around real good, get it real tight. Make sure we got a good connection. Okay. Well, that didn't work. Okay. Here we go. I think we got it now. I'm just trying not to pull it out as we go. You just want to hook it in there the best you can. And then come around, put your ground in, and do the same thing. Loop it around. Make sure no wires are touching. Loop that around now that's adjusted. That looks pretty good. So now we're ready to go. This is clean. This is clean. I'm left-handed, so I apologize. This is a little hard trying to get this on footage, but that's what Metal on a Budget's all about. I've been wiring my own guitars up for a good 15 years now. I'm still not that good at it, but it takes practice and patience and just really find out what works for you. Like I said, the input jacks are super easy because you have those holes, so now it's just holding it in there. We've cleaned the tip. It's a fresh tip. I've only soldered a few times with this, so not too overused. And then we're going to try a little prep that we'll go ahead and drop down here a little more and get some good light on the situation. This is not easy to do. I've never videoed me soldering anything, so it's not easy. So hats off to the guys out there that are soldering computers and all that on the TV. Super cool. So we're going to prep this like Schecter. They kind of just put some solder on the tip. I don't know why, but now we're going to go in and just see if we can hit this and get something to stick for once, which I think we need to warm it up a little. We're going to see here, find the right angle, try to heat it up. Get this as warm as possible. Like I said, people make soldering look easy. It's really not unless you're practice, because just getting it in the right zone here. Always have ventilation. I have a fan right here sucking the smoke so you don't suffocate or get poisoned. I don't know what if this stuff's bad for you. I assume it is. It smells bad for you. So let's see if we can get this going here. Okay, now we're getting some solder going. Looks like it's soldered. That actually looked really good. I'm impressed with that, with how that looks. That's not bad at all. Cool. So I think that prep work that the Schecter Custom Shop guys are doing is obviously the key to get a good stick or get a good, hit on this. You can see my little beads right here. I think that's kind of cool. So yeah, pretty cool. Looks like there's something on there. I hope that's not stuck on there. We'll try to get that off in a second once we get going here. Let's just set that on there. Let it warm up a little bit. You always warm up what you're going to touch to so the solder can get to it and bond to it a little easier. If it's cold, it does that right there. The bead up, where it beads up but it don't stick to nothing. So we'll go ahead and get this real nice and warm. Do a little prep. I like to prep that thing a little, because that's what the Schecter Custom Shop guys are doing. This guitar is a Schecter 007 from 1999. It's definitely a cool guitar. If you ever have a chance to pick one up, I would advise getting one because, well, they're not super easy to find. Let's see if we can get something going here. All right, there we go. There we go. There we go. And you want to run. Don't be afraid of it. Oh, I got a hook to it. Don't be afraid to go in. Use the solder. Don't be afraid of it. I do want to get that ball off there. I don't like that. That could cause problems. But I think it's coming off here. Okay. There we go. We got a bunch of little metal balls everywhere. Okay. Cool. They sound like little BBs for a BB gun. Okay, now for the ground. Let's see if we can get this to stick. We'll go ahead and clean our tip. Make sure nothing's on it. Yeah, so here's a little ball here, just rolling away. I'll have to vacuum after this. This is the stock pickups. Really liked them. They're kind of darker. They're not as heavily output as some of my other guitars, or not as bright, but they're still really good, and I have no intentions on changing. Duncan designs from 1999. I think they're awesome, and quite personally, probably not many people have Seymour Duncans from 1999 or the Duncan designs, because everybody swapped pickups and things like that. So we're already at 8 minutes here, so we're going to go ahead and try to get this in and do a little play. We're going to do a little playthrough. Let's go ahead and heat this up and see if we can get anything going here. See if we can get some right there on that. Like I said, this isn't wanting to stick very well. Like I said, I'm not that good at soldering, but it's okay because I got it. Just need to clean that up a little bit, and I think we'll be okay. Try not to burn the guitar here. Like I said, I'm left-handed, so this is hard to do right-handed. But like I said, I've been soldering for years, so I do know what to do. So I think we're gonna run that. It looks. I could clean it up. But we'll see. I want to put a little bit more on the positive, and then we're going to go plug it in and see if my soldering skills are still any good enough to get me by. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's your guitar. As long as it works. That's the key. Like I said, I'm having issues because, well, I haven't soldered them in over a few months. Really. Haven't needed to. All my guitars have actually held up pretty good with the last solders I put on. Let's get it. Come on. Let's get it. Oh, that's close. That's burning. Okay, looks like I got it. Did I get it? You can get it. We're almost done here, guys. 10 minutes already. We can do an 11-minute video. That's okay. Like I said, it's something you have to be patient with. It's not easy. Because, you know, there's a lot of little tricks and stuff. And if you see how shaky I'm getting, because I haven't eaten, I get a little shaky. I just wanted to show you this video because, you know, I don't really show a lot on my channel. I like that. That's cool. Now let's get this cleaned up. Get the excess off, the slack. Get the slack off. Get the slack off. Solder that in. Get it good. Okay. And then get the slack off here, and I think we'll be okay. Yeah, that's perfect. I love that. And you can just kind of clean it up as you get it. You know, it don't have to be perfect. So, now that that's done, we'll go ahead and leave the solder on just in case. And we'll test this out and see what happens. Let's go. I don't know what's going to happen. We're just going to let it dangle. I don't want to put it all back together and then it not work. So, we're going to try this out and see if my soldering skills worked or if I have to work harder at it and practice again, because like I said, I haven't soldered in months. Okay, so if you want a tight ground, or if you want a tight plug for your thing, this right here, see if I can get it in there. Oh, I need to go over. This right here, if you just bend that down a little, not to the point where it breaks, but that's much stiffer than what it was. Make sure nothing's touching. Okay. Now for the test. Let's see if it works. And I think there's I'm going to have to solder something on this pot or change it. I'm getting something crackly there. It didn't look like the solder was too good. So that's the next thing I'm going to be messing with. But the input jack feels much better now. And definitely worth buying a $10 solder from Walmart. It comes with everything that you've seen in the video. This video is not sponsored. And that buzzing's from the amp. I have a tube screamer on, and it's real noisy. The single, that's a single coil there, and then the neck, you can hear how much quieter. And that's why I like humbuckers over single coils, because single coils are noisy. But if I could get a single coil that didn't make that noise, which I mean, all single coils that I've had in guitars have made that hum. You know, that's what a humbucker is. It cancels out that hum from each other. If I could get like a noiseless neck pickup, I might entertain changing the pickups just to get rid of that, because I want to use the neck pickup as a lead, you know, as a lead thing, but it kind of has a hum to it that I'm not real into. But there's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If there's any questions or anything you have, just let me know. Like I said, this is not a gear really. I mean, it is a gear related video, but it's more or less how Metal on a Budget gets by with working on his own stuff. I mean, you've seen it right there. It wasn't hooked up. It's still dangling. It wasn't hooked up, and clearly I just wired it, and now it works a lot better. And it sounds like the hum's out of it a little. So that's super cool. Justin out.